The year was 218 BC. Rome, the rising superpower of the Mediterranean, was about to face its worst nightmare. A man who swore as a child to destroy Rome. A man who would lead an army over the Alps mountains with war elephants. His name was Hannibal Barca. Hannibal was born in Carthage in North Africa. When he was just 9 years old, his father took him to the temple and made him swear an oath. I swear eternal hatred of Rome. I will destroy Rome or die trying. That oath became his life purpose. When Hannibal became commander at age 26, he decided to do the impossible. He would invade Italy itself, not by sea but by land, over the Alps mountains, with war elephants. In 218 BC, Hannibal began his legendary march with 90,000 infantry, 12,000 cavalry, and 37 war elephants. The journey through Spain and Gaul was brutal, but nothing compared to what came next. The Alps. No army had ever crossed those mountains with elephants. The Romans laughed. The mountains will kill him for us, they thought. In late October, Hannibal began the climb. As they went higher, the conditions became hellish. Narrow paths barely wide enough for elephants. Snow and ice everywhere. Men slipped and fell to their deaths. The cold was unbearable. Soldiers from Africa had never seen snow. They froze to death in their sleep. Mountain tribes attacked constantly. Food ran out. The elephants, animals from hot climates, suffered terribly in the freezing snow. Many fell from narrow paths or died from cold and hunger. It took 15 days of hell to cross. When Hannibal emerged on the Italian side, he had lost over half his army, from 90,000 men down to less than 40,000. Most elephants were dead. Rome sent scouts who reported Hannibal's army was broken and defeated. They were wrong. After resting and recruiting Gauls who hated Rome, Hannibal sent his message. I am here. Come fight me. Rome sent an army. Hannibal destroyed them at the Battle of Trebia. Rome sent another army. Hannibal destroyed them at Lake Trasimene. 15,000 Romans died. Rome panicked. This wasn't supposed to happen. Nobody invaded Italy and won. So Rome assembled the largest army they'd ever fielded, 87,000 men. They marched to face Hannibal at Cannae. Hannibal had 50,000 men. Outnumbered, far from home, no reinforcements. The smart move would be retreat. Hannibal attacked. The Battle of Cannae became the most studied battle in military history. Hannibal deliberately weakened his center and strengthened his flanks. When Romans attacked, his center slowly retreated, drawing them forward. The Romans thought they were winning. Then Hannibal's flanks closed in from both sides like a vice. His cavalry swept behind. The Romans were completely surrounded, trapped so tightly they couldn't even use their weapons. What followed was a massacre. By day's end, over 70,000 Romans were dead in a single day. The worst defeat in Roman history. Cities across Italy switched sides and joined Hannibal. Rome expected him to march on the city and end the war. But Hannibal didn't march on Rome. That decision may have cost him the war, because Rome did something shocking. They didn't surrender. Instead, they doubled down, raised new armies, recruited boys and freed slaves, melted temple statues for weapons. They refused to even discuss peace. For 13 more years, Hannibal campaigned in Italy, winning battle after battle. But Rome kept raising more armies. Hannibal couldn't capture Rome without siege equipment. He begged Carthage for reinforcements. They sent almost nothing. Meanwhile, Rome sent armies to attack Carthage itself in Africa. In 203 BC, after 15 years in Italy, Hannibal received the dreaded message. Carthage was under siege. He was ordered home. Hannibal wept. 15 years of victories, and he had to abandon Italy without final victory. In 202 BC, Hannibal faced Roman General Scipio at the Battle of Zama. For the first time in his career, Hannibal was decisively defeated. Carthage surrendered. The terms were brutal: massive tribute, surrender all elephants and their navy. Rome demanded Hannibal's extradition. He fled into exile, moving from kingdom to kingdom, always ahead of Roman assassins. In 183 BC, at age 64, Roman agents finally found him in Turkey. Rather than be captured, Hannibal took poison. His last words: "Let us relieve the Romans of their anxiety. They've waited long enough for an old man to die." Hannibal's legacy became immortal. He crossed the Alps with elephants when everyone said it was impossible. He won battle after battle for 15 years on enemy territory. He inflicted Rome's worst defeat at Cannae. He almost destroyed the greatest empire in history. For generations, Romans scared their children, saying Hannibal is at the gates. His tactics are still studied today. He was one man who swore an oath as a child and nearly brought Rome to its knees. What other stories has history tried to bury? Subscribe to Ancient Echoes and discover the heroes the world forgot.